And I'm making a video today on the book called Permaculture, A Designer's Manual by Bill Mollison. So this is by Tagari Publishing, and I'm just going to go through a little online overview so you have an idea of what it is about. This book is about designing sustainable human settlements and preserving and extending natural systems. It covers aspects of designing and maintaining a cultivated ecology in any climate, the principles of design, design methods, understanding patterns in nature, climatic factors, water, soils, earthworks, techniques, and strategies in different climatic types, aquaculture, and social, legal, economic design of human settlement. So, here's Bill Mollison. Wish I could zoom in here so you could see better. He is an academic, and he's from New Zealand, I believe, or Tasmania. And he is an ecologist and an academic who came up with a design system that he studied cultures around the world that were sustainable historically, and found patterns, found principles that they operated by, and then codified them in this book based on design around natural principles. So here is the table of contents, and see if I can make this bigger. There we go. So yeah, here it is. So we have introduction, concepts, and themes in design, methods of design, pattern understanding, climatic factors, trees, water, soils. So we have design, understanding, climate, trees, water, soils. So pretty much just design, and then the rest of nature. But first we start off with ethics, permaculture, society, philosophy. Going deeper, we can do earthworks, and then he goes into the different ecosystems. He gets into aquaculture at the end, strategies, and then he goes super broad. This is the most interesting chapter to me, how we can make it all come together in a big global picture, which is especially relevant in the age of the internet, I believe. Information age, which is why I'm making this video, so everyone can kind of get an idea of the book, and hopefully Bill Mollison is, not hating me from the grave for making this video and showing his book online for free. I guess maybe Jeff Lawton would be his heir of his legacy, and Jeff Lawton has a problem with me posting this. I will gladly remove it. But I thought it would do more good than harm, and I don't think a video can really replace a book. And I think if you really are into it, you're going to buy the book anyway. So, enough of that. Here's just a little overview of the idea of permaculture. So, here's how farming is practiced in 90% of America, 98%. Just one crop, tractor, mechanical input, monocropping with heavy oil as the means of providing nutrition to the crops and to adding energy to the system. But in a macro system, it's actually not good, right? So we have to subsidize it, which is what they're showing here. It costs money to farm like this. It costs us taxpayer dollars to farm like this. It's actually inefficient, and it actually weakens the nation, but it's hidden behind all these things like costs in other areas like war and pollution, soil runoff. And, it's possible to dominate the markets artificially for a little while, but through health and wealth of a nation long term, the theory is that it needs, this is more organic, transitional farming, factoring other things as means of distributing the energy, such as insects, people, water conservation, etc. And so this is like the middle ground, right? This is the secondary succession, primary succession plants, secondary succession, and tertiary. Having an overstory of trees and really just a food forest, a self-sustaining food forest that has the same benefits as this does, high productivity, but minimizing the oil because it's it's a mimicking of an ecosystem, and it's not a mimicking of an erosion event, which is basically what this is. Are you tilling the soil, mimicking an erosion like a volcano or like a landslide or something, where you have a primary species that benefits from the death of all of the microorganisms in their bodies, once, twice, or many times if there's a heavy cake of stored nutrients, as in the Central Valley, or if you're just using nitrogen to farm, in which case the plant has very little nutritional content, but it can grow with nitrogen created by the Haber-Bosch process, which is like what the Green Revolution is and all that. So that requires natural gas to be feasible, to even work. So that's why it's, you have to pay for that stuff. So it's really productive in some regards, but to pay for it, and it benefits large scale farmers. So we're going to need to eventually transition into a different form of agriculture. There's people that do precision agriculture and robotic agriculture, and I think they're missing the point that also GMO crops just to increase productivity, and these are kind of just band-aids. Like even the Green Revolution was a band-aid on the issue of feeding everyone, right? So eventually we're going to need to transition back to, or maybe not back, but forward to a method of growing crops that is able to go on indefinitely. That's where we're needing to go. And so transitioning out of that, we still might need to use oil to do earthworks or to do a number of things to pick and choose the things that we need to bring us into the future where we actually can live off the land, live in harmony with each other, and it's actually a feasible system. So that's what this book is all about, and it's all about designing for that inevitable future over time that we don't have enough natural gas left to do the Haber-Bosch process, or there's a million different scenarios in terms of how this will play out. So here is a broad design framework. We have the organic elements, the inorganic and derived organic elements, socio-legal elements, the process, and trying to make sense of this here. Haven't had lunch yet. A total design in evolution to maturity, patterning for the best flow, function, and yield whilst conserving resources. It's all about efficiency. It's EROEI, energy returned on energy invested. And what makes a system profitable is exactly that. If you have to use more energy to put into a system than you're getting out of it, then you're losing energy, basically. And in this system, energy is basically life. Energy is money. Energy is a plant growing. Energy is water stored at a height. Well, energy is water stored in the land. It's the potential to create wealth, the potential to do work. Energy is oil. Energy is captured sunlight, essentially. Energy is stored sunlight, either in the form of wind being captured or water being captured at a height, or temperature differentials, or just all the numerous ways that the sun produces energy on this earth. Solar panels capture through metal, electricity, the ability to do work or create a surplus or create a product. So humans, metabolic energy. So designing. So this book, as you can tell, I mean, this book is dense. I've spent days where I've just tried to read one chapter and just, or just one part of one chapter and just understand it. And it is an absolute, it's an encyclopedia, really. That's what it is. My dad says, I showed it to him and let him read it, and he said, "Oh, this book makes you feel pretty stupid, doesn't it?" Yeah, it is pretty stupid. We live in a pretty stupid culture sometimes. Oh, yeah, most of the time. Unless we can have a piece of land and work together and figure it out, it's pretty stupid. You really look at what's going on. So this is the industrial system on the left, how to produce an industrial egg, going through iron ore, coal, mine, steel works, manufacturing, power station, refinery, chemicals, fertilizer, biocides, plastics, grain crops, global chalk food, pellet mill, fish processing, and fisheries, third world, chicken factory, unnatural stressful habitat, disease in chickens. Nearly all processing is polluting and energy intensive. Yes, it's all externalized costs, which we are paying for in the quality of our environment and in our taxes and in our nation's debt and the quality of our food and health and diseases, obesity, cancer. So these are hidden costs. When you crack one egg and it's one's dark yellow and it's beautiful and it's rich and it makes you feel alive when you eat it. And you eat the other one, so you can't even see the yolk, and you're like, did I even eat food? You don't even remember if you ate. It's the difference right there. You might actually be getting starved by the food. It might be taking minerals from you and depositing its toxins from the bioaccumulation of the grain crop into the chicken, and each level of each trophic level is accumulating toxins. That's why they say don't eat fish, right? Like big fish, because they have mercury. It's because they eat the smaller fish, and the smaller fish eat the plankton, and the plankton have mercury in them because the ocean has mercury in it because it's impossible to get out. So, well, maybe it's not impossible, but so you got to be careful what you eat. Especially farmed fish, and that's why the whole farmed fish thing. I don't really know too much about that, but I won't get into it. But as you can see, over here we have one-time structures create. Instead of this is like over and over and over again. You go buy an egg at the store. Here's you have an iron ore coal mine, so you're utilizing existing infrastructure to basically create yourself a little spaceship where you can have infinite chicken eggs, right? Have a little self-feeding system. Climbing vine, hard seed fruit, high protein fruits, chicken wire, roofing, guttering. Okay. All right. Thus you kind of get the idea. Here's a spiral evolution diagram. So the idea is that the system gets more complex over time and feeds back on itself and creates positive chaos. So we have design methods of design, which I'll get into, but I just want to. So this is just the first 2 chapters, and I just want to do like a little brief intro. I might get into this more if you guys like this. The video I did on the Permaculture Designer's Manual has the most views of any of my videos, which is not that many views. It's like 1,000 views, but I thought, hey, maybe people appreciate this and appreciate, would maybe appreciate sharing, you know, a little intro in the book. So I'll just post this, and if you guys like it, I'll, you know, maybe I'll post some more videos. And yeah, check out this book, and I hope you're having a great day. All right, bye bye.